The following show is brought to you by Capital Financial and Insurance. And now, it's time for best-selling author, Coach Pete.
And welcome in, folks. Welcome to the Financial Safari, where we've put together an exciting show for you today. We're going to talk to your local trusted advisors about annuities. Are they a good fit for your portfolio? How do you know? I'm going to answer that question today. We're also going to talk to national press correspondent Lance Sparks. He's going to talk about how to put together that strong portfolio for now and for retirement. Our goal is to help you be financially secure regardless of what happens in the economy. And we've got a very special offer as well. Stay tuned and we'll talk to you after the show on the Financial Safari. Hi, this is Coach Pete.
And hello, I'm Peter Rashan.
And if you've got questions about how to safely and properly allocate your investments, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Financial Safari.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach Pete and his guests are some of the nation's top financial professionals. They make it their mission to guide investors through the treacherous jungle of the financial world, showing them how to grow, keep, and leave their money for their loved ones. Coach Pete is a frequent contributor to Fox Business Network, CNBC, The Wall Street Journal, and many other news outlets. They come to Coach Pete for their answers, and now so can you. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world on the Financial Safari.
Coming up on the Financial Safari, Coach Pete sits down and explains a specific case on how proper income planning helped out a couple, followed by your local trusted advisor helping explain how to know if an annuity is a good fit. And later, Coach Pete talks with a senior vice president at Aviva, Lance Sparks, about his article, The Annuity Evolution.
We are back on the Financial Safari. I'm Walter Storholt. He is Coach Pete D'Arruda, and it's time to delve into that financial world once again to find out what's happening and what you can do to educate yourself about what's happening in the financial world. Coach, how often should somebody who has a financial plan already in place be checking back in with their advisor?
I recommend at least once a year, because things change, not only in your situation, but in our United States economy, the global economy, and new products are on the horizon too. So you always want to make sure that you have the best of the best. Make sure that what you have your money in is what it should be in. We call it reallocation strategies. And we also look at building an income plan each year, maybe taking some money off risk and put into a place you can't lose. And it's about like the old seesaw that would go back and forth. And you want to make sure you have that proper balance between, like, if two guys were on each end and they had the same weight, they would stay suspended equally. You never want to have overweight on one way or the other. So it's the best thing there is to meet with an advisor at least once a year. And here's an opinion that I express also is it's good to meet with a different advisor at least once or twice every couple of years too, someone who's not holding your money, to get an honest second opinion. Now be careful for the folks that are just trying to sell you something, getting you to move. But if you get an honest opinion from a fee-only or a fee-based advisor, they can at least put a plan together based on what you have put aside already and see if it works in conjunction with what you already have, or see if it totally butts heads with the plan you have, and maybe it's time to get that change in strategy.
Now, if you get that second opinion, what should be the questions that you ask that person?
Yeah, there are a lot of questions, and we're going to post them on our website where people can go and look. Questions to ask your current advisor. About 20 of them, though. One that you need to ask every single year is, what am I paying you that I don't see? Are there any hidden fees coming out of my account and going into your pocket? Am I funding my retirement, or am I funding your retirement? Am I funding my own college education for my own children, or am I funding college education for your children? These are all good questions, Walt. There are a lot of hidden fees out there, and to me, nothing should be hidden. So if you deal with an advisor who is totally honest and competent, they'll explain to you exactly what they're making. Let's be honest, all advisors are making money, or they wouldn't be in the field. I mean, if I wasn't making any money being a financial advisor, I could work at Food Line and bag groceries and maybe get an employee discount or something. But people make money. And so just understand that, but know that someone shouldn't be getting filthy rich if you're not getting filthy rich.
Great advice. Good things to remember, Coach Pete. Folks, we invite you to contact us. Get in touch with your local trusted advisor here on the Financial Safari team. All you have to do is call the number at the bottom of your screen, or, of course, you can visit us online as well at financialsafari.com.
Let me tell you, Walt, when they go to that Financial Safari website, you can click on a link there and you can read the first chapter of my new book, The 7 Financial Baby Steps, absolutely at no cost. Click on that. If you like it, when you come in, we'll make sure you get a complete copy of the hard copy book.
Excellent. That's financialsafari.com for the first chapter and for the chance to come in and meet with Coach Pete and the team from the Financial Safari. Again, financialsafari.com. I'm Walter Storholt. He's Coach Pete. There's more Financial Safari on the way next.
Coach, I know for people who are not quite to retirement, but they're getting close, that financial red zone, as we often talk about.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of opportunity to really do some planning and play with some different numbers to see how you can plan for yourself, for your income once you do get to retirement. I know you have a case study of somebody, I think, age 60. A couple of different ways to look at their situation. Explain that.
Yeah, and again, case study is our way of showing you what's out there because everyone's different. So this is for a couple age 60, you may be different. But this is husband and wife, they're both the same age. A lot different than me. My wife is 7 years younger than I am. But in this example,
Nice job, by the way.
husband and wife are both 60, and they have about $600,000 in their total retirement portfolio. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve for the income gaps they're going to have in the future. Because when they turn 65, they're going to get money from their Social Security and pension, but they're going to need more money to keep up with their lifestyle. So we solve for what they need to put away right now, and we've loaned for 5 years utilizing some income annuities that are available today that will give them that income replacement at retirement. So again, their Social Security at age 65 will be $2,000 total for each of them per month for them. And then we have a pension of $1,000. And so it's not much of a pension, but most companies don't even give pensions anymore.
Better than a lot of people, yeah.
So their income gap, they need $1,500 more per month when they reach 65. So what we did is we solved for income, like we like to talk about a lot of times on our radio show and here on TV. And we said, how much do they need to put away right now at a lump sum that will have 5 years to grow for that guaranteed lifetime income of another $1,500 a month? So we were able to arrive at $216,000 needs to be put away right now to grow, 216,046 as you'll see on the screen. But another problem existed. We have inflation. And so no one knows what inflation is going to be this year, next year, 15 years from now.
We know it's going up, though.
So I said, what if we can get you another $1,000 a month at age 75? What do we have to put away right now in a time capsule type account for 15 years that will give you a guaranteed $1,000 a month for the rest of your life?
And basically, they're giving themselves a raise. They're building into their income in the future a raise for themselves.
Without having to go to the boss and get fired out of it about it, right?
Exactly.
So $61,949 they put away right now. That'll give them that inflation kicker at age 75. Taking some of the worry away from living in retirement and letting them concentrate on doing the fun things that they've always wanted to do in retirement. So what does that leave? That leaves $322,000 of money that is still available for their growth type accounts.
A little more than half of what they
so they started with $600,000. They put away money for lifetime income and for income that starts at both 65 and 75 to get them inflation boosters. And now they've got $322,000 they can take a little bit more risk with. They need a properly managed account. We do a lot of these. We make sure to put safe money first and then take properly structured managed accounts and give them that chance of more financial horsepower going forward. And it's a whole lot easier to take risk when you have safe money already there.
Because the key with that risk money is they're not relying on it for their income. That's money that if they lose some of it, well, it doesn't change their lifestyle.
But no one wants to lose money, and everyone has some money they don't want to lose, so then we put that 200 and some thousand away in those time capsule accounts for guaranteed income. And then as they get older, let's say when they're 65, maybe their growth account has grown to $500,000. Maybe we take another $100 or $2,000 away and put it into another time capsule account that will give them another bump up in income in the future. But right now, well, we have these great accounts available to us. Now's a good time to utilize that, get that safe money put aside. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
John, I really enjoyed this Coffee with Coach with you. Until next time, folks, Coffee with Coach.
Still to come on the Financial Safari, your local trusted advisor helps to explain how to know if an annuity is a good fit. And later, Coach Pete talks with a senior vice president at Aviva, Lance Sparks, about his article, The Annuity Evolution. And now, Coach Pete has a special offer just for you.
As a loyal listener, you now qualify for a no-cost initial consultation with a local trusted advisor in your area All you have to do in the next 30 minutes is call the number you see on your screen. Now, you must have at least $100,000 put away for retirement for our planners to be able to build a plan for you. But if you qualify, here's what you get. You'll get a forensic fee analysis analyzing where you are right now and showing you if you're in the right place for not only now, but going forward. You know, things change as we get into retirement. When we're in that financial red zone, which is 5 years before retirement and 5 years into retirement, we don't want to be dependent on the stock market for our income. Actually, we never do. So that's built into a plan. We also put together a qualified income planning report for you, showing you based on where you are right now, where you could be income-wise in the future by taking some proper, safe steps with your portfolio. A tax analysis is also included. Folks, this is a no-lose situation for you. It's no cost, no obligation, and when you come in, I'll also give you a copy of my autographed book, 7 Financial Baby Steps. Call the number on your screen, and we look forward to meeting with you soon here on the Financial Safari. Income planning starts with the end in mind. What do I mean by that? It means you look at where you want to go, and then you design a plan that will give you the income you need to get there. It doesn't matter what time of your life you're in right now. You could be just starting to work, you could be midway through your career, or you could be ending your career. You're always going to need income. When you're working, you get a paycheck. That's your income. Hopefully you're taking some of that money and putting it aside for future when you don't get a paycheck. I call those playchecks. Now the playcheck is your income plan. It's the money that's going to come each and every year, making sure you never have to worry about running out of money in retirement. There needs to be some guarantees attached to that paycheck. It starts by building the proper foundation. Just as a home builder lays down concrete and rocks and gravel to make sure you have a solid foundation, it's always good to have a good foundation in place with your financial future. Financial foundation is your safe money, the money that will always be there for you to and through retirement. So there are some products, there are some strategies designed exclusively to make sure that you never have to worry about going backwards. We call this financial cruise control, otherwise known as income planning. If you set it up correctly and do financial cruise control, you can always get that paycheck, the money that will always be there regardless of what happens in the market, making sure that you can take the worry out of living in retirement. That's what we call income planning. A proper income strategy does not depend on what happens in the market. It all depends on you and getting a proper planner so that you don't have to worry about where the money's going to come from.
This is the Financial Safari, and it is now time to check in once again with Coach Pete D'Arruda. I'm Walter Storholt, and Coach, we've got a question from one of our listeners. Larry called into the program last week, and he wants to know, he's right now taking RMDs, which we know is required minimum distributions, but he says he doesn't really need that money for income. What are some wise things that he can do with that extra money?
So Larry said he's currently taking required minimum distributions. It means he's over 70 and a half, probably in his 70s. He didn't say his age, did he?
No, he didn't, but definitely over 70 and a half.
Okay, and he doesn't need the money. That's a luxury, Walt, that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Larry on that. Larry, there are certain things that we'd need to know before we could really give you that complex advice. But number one is, do you have life insurance established? Do you have children or grandchildren you'd like to leave a tax-free legacy to? If so, we do some legacy planning techniques here that could turn the whatever you're getting. Did he say how much he's getting as a minimum required distribution there, Walt?
No, he did not at this
point.
point.
Well, whatever you're getting, you could multiply that. We say it's a way to turn pennies into tax-free dollars upon death, and so that may be something to do. Larry, you might want to check with your wife also when you say you don't need the money. Maybe your wife, if you are married, maybe she wants to go on a vacation somewhere. So maybe you've been putting it off for a long time, and maybe this is the time to spend that money wisely And there's no better way to spend it than to keep the spouse happy, if you know what I'm saying, Larry.
Most definitely. So it sounds like there are options for Larry out there. What if Larry wants to reinvest that money but doesn't want to get maybe taxed on it again, if you look at it that way?
Yeah, well, I mean, he can put it into, there are certain ways to put it places where he won't pay as much tax. Unfortunately, at his age, I really don't think the Roth IRA makes any sense, and he doesn't really have any earned income. It doesn't sound like he's just taking money out. Again, life insurance is a way to build a tax-free income in the future, as well as tax-free inheritance if used properly. So that may be something for him to look at. Unfortunately, Walt, and everyone out there, I'm sure you can agree, you hear that word life insurance, or the combination of words life and insurance together, usually run the other way when you hear that. But life insurance is your best ally. Unfortunately, Walt, 87% of Americans are underinsured, which doesn't mean much when you're here, but when you're not here anymore, it could mean changing zip codes for your spouse or your family, because they might not be able to afford the bills anymore if you don't leave them with any money. So consult with a life insurance specialist, an income planning specialist, and just get that plan together that everyone needs out there, and there's nothing to be afraid of in the financial world.
It's a tough position to be in sometimes, but folks, there is a Financial Safari team here and ready and willing to help you. All you have to do is visit us online at financialsafari.com, and you'll get great advice and guidance there. Again, that's financialsafari.com. There's more to come on the Financial Safari. Be right back after this.
It's time, like we always do, to visit with a local trusted advisor from throughout the country. The question this week is concerning annuities. We get calls each and every week about annuities from folks nationally. The question is, how does someone know if they're getting the right annuity and if an annuity is a good fit for them to begin with?
Yeah, I'm sure you have been getting a lot of calls and questions about annuities, Coach Pete, because annuities are very complicated financial instruments. There are a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of nuts and bolts and moving parts. Ultimately, you need to understand that there are 4 basic types of annuities that perform very distinct and different roles in your portfolio. They do different jobs. An immediate annuity is like a pension. You can set up a guaranteed stream of income for an amount of time, even up to a lifetime of income, but typically you lose control of your lump sum. A fixed annuity, keyword, like a CD. It has a set rate of return for a set amount of time. Once it matures, you have to find a new instrument to continue growing your money. A variable annuity is actually the only type of annuity that is an investment. In other words, it has a risk of loss to principal. If the market goes up, you can make some good gains, but if the market goes down, you can and will lose money in a variable annuity. So it's kind of like a mutual fund. And then a fixed indexed annuity tries to combine some of the elements of all of the 3 prior types. You can defer money, sharing in the gains of the market, while still knowing that you have a guaranteed safety for your original principal and locking in gains as you go. A lot of times, there's an additional piece that grows your money by a guaranteed rate of return for the purpose of providing a future retirement income. So in order to know what type of annuity is best for you, first you have to define your goals for this piece of money in your portfolio.
So where is the proper place for annuities in one's portfolio?
Well, for different times in your life and for different purposes, annuities can play different roles. If you are looking to grow money that is non-qualified money but not have to pay taxes on it each and every year, and you're still a little younger in that accumulation phase of your life, then maybe a variable annuity could play a beneficial part. More often than not, however, annuities play a more beneficial role into and through retirement when you are looking to preserve the money that you've already saved for yourself, allow it to grow at a decent rate of return, and then potentially produce income into and through retirement. Coach Pete, as you know, for you and your viewers on the Financial Safari, we are willing to sit down with them and help them evaluate either their current annuities or any annuity that they have been proposed from their financial advisor or a financial salesman. If they would like to know exactly what they are being proposed, what they're considering, and if it's really the best thing to achieve what they're hoping to achieve with their money, I welcome your viewers to give us a call at the number that they see on the screen, and we'll sit down with them and perform that detailed forensic financial analysis to make sure the annuity that they own or are considering is the best thing for them.
That's fantastic information. And if you're interested in finding out about your own personalized situation, call the number on the bottom of your screen. Thanks for your time today.
Always a pleasure, Coach Pete. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and the viewers here on the Financial Safari. Thank you.
Talk to one of our local experts, and we have a special offer for you on today's show. Call in the next 30 minutes. We're going to custom design for an easy-to-understand financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. There's no obligation or cost for this initial review for all callers who have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. If you meet those qualifications, here's what you can expect. First, we'll run a fee report to help you untangle what it's costing you to work with your current planner or advisor. We'll show you how to protect your investments and keep more of your money in your accounts. Next, we'll perform a tax analysis to show you how you could possibly be reducing your taxes and increase your cash flow. And finally, we'll create a customized lifetime income plan using proven strategies and techniques that could turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we'll take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So, for all callers who call in the next 30 minutes, a comprehensive financial review that we're offering with no obligation. Just call the number below right now. Coming up on the Financial Safari, Coach Pete talks with Senior Vice President at Aviva, Lance Sparks, about his article, The Annuity Evolution, and a special message from Coach Pete.
And welcome back into the show, folks. Today we have a very great guest. His name is Lance Sparks, and he's written several articles in the financial world. One that I really like, I just read the other day. It's called The Annuity Evolution. And there are a lot of features available today especially in the fixed indexed annuity world, that weren't available 5 or 6 years ago. And I wanted to get Lance on to explain this because I think a lot of people still are trapped in their mind with the old annuities, your grandmother's annuities, the ones that weren't as good as the ones today. And it's not good to shape your opinions going forward on what's happened in the past. As an investment advisor, I always tell folks that past performance can never guarantee future results. And Lance, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Coach Pete. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I don't want to steal all your thunder here, but I mean, this was a great article, and I was very excited to get you on here to explain to the listeners why they should consider an annuity in their plan, especially if they're over 50 years old.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think, a lot of the media has talked about the issues right now in the economy regarding the low interest rates, regarding regulatory pressure on reserving for annuities, and how the product has changed where more clients are looking to take income instead of looking at the accumulation and guarantees in the product. And that's changed how carriers have been forced to price products. So you've seen in the last couple of years, even though the index annuities have gotten a lot better in the last 10 years, in the last couple of years we've seen them go a little bit backwards because of interest rates. And I know a lot of producers that I talk to are concerned about that. But if you look at the alternatives, again, that are out in the market, today we're talking about 1-year CDs in the 1% range versus you can still get a guaranteed roll-up rate for income for your clients in the 6 to 7 and even a little bit higher, depending on the design of the product. So if you look at relative comparison, there's still a good value for clients.
Well, one of the main things that people tell me is they want to take the worry out of living in retirement, and we call this financial cruise control. When you can take the worry out and know no matter what happens in the future, if you put some money in an annuity with an income rider that has lifetimes of guaranteed income on it, they'll never have to worry about where the check's going to come from on that side. Now, it's a part of a good portfolio. The money they put at risk, of course, they could lose that, but this money they could never lose, and if it indexed with inflation, you're always getting, like you said, the buying power. You'll still be able to buy the loaf of bread each week. You'll still be able to fill the tank up with gas because it has an inflation rider on there, correct?
Correct, and it mimics how the client has lived for the last 40 years when they were working. They had a job, they got a monthly paycheck, and typically they got an increase from their employer as the cost of living went up. So in retirement, we're trying to mimic them and make sure that they have the opportunity to still get a guaranteed income amount that's going to keep up with the cost of living.
Folks, we're talking to Lance Sparks. He's written an article that I picked up on, I think it was on Bloomberg or something. It hit the major wires, and the article title is The Annuity Evolution, How Annuities Have Changed Over the Years. One thing here, Lance, is that the annuities have changed over the years for the better, in my opinion, for many of them. But people's attitudes towards annuities have not got better many times because they're using the same past performance or the annuities of the past to judge the future ones. Is that a harmful strategy for a lot of folks?
I think it is. If you bought a car 10 years ago, when you go to trade that in, the cars have gotten a lot better today. And some of the features that were expensive then are cheaper today as the manufacturer learns how to price them. And I think the index annuity has evolved in much the same way.
You know, I'm an investment advisor, and unfortunately, I'm kind of ashamed a lot of times with some of the investment advisors in my field and that I see across the country, because the sole goal of an investment advisor is to put together a proper plan using all the different financial vehicles out there. And some of the investment advisors I've talked to in the past, they won't even consider an annuity in someone's plan. Who are they really hurting, Lance, when they do that?
Well, you know, I'm a believer that they're hurting the ultimate consumer. And if they listen to their clients, you know, all of our research shows the same thing, that those clients don't want to have their nest egg at risk. That's the number one important feature for them. And they want to make sure that they have enough money to live through retirement.
You know, when it comes down to it, everyone's going to have to take their lump sum eventually and turn it into a stream of income. Would you like that stream to be guaranteed or non-guaranteed? I think that's what it comes down to, and the annuities with the income riders will guarantee that lifetime income, correct?
Correct, and again, and they'll keep up with keep the purchasing power of the income through your retirement as well.
Well, Lance Sparks, we really appreciate your time today. And folks, if you joined the interview late or if you want to listen to it again, it'll be posted on our website, financialsafari.com. And Lance, we really appreciate your time today.
Coach Pete, appreciate it.
And folks, we'll be right back.
Wow, another show's over. Folks, this show goes very fast for a reason. It's informative, it's here to help you, and we try to bring it to your point of view in the financial world. And that's what we do when you meet with us. Call the number on your screen right now. Meet with a local trusted advisor as soon as next week. There's no cost or obligation, and really you owe it to yourself and your family to make sure you're doing the best possible thing with your money, making sure you're not paying too much in fees, not taking too much risk, and definitely not paying too much in commissions. Get that qualified income plan, get a retirement plan, get a tax plan, all working together. You can do that. And we look forward to visiting with you next week here on the Financial Safari.
Information provided is for illustrative purposes only and does not constitute investment, tax, or legal advice. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Neither Peter J. Deruta or his guests are liable for the usage of information discussed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Individuals should thoroughly review the contract for specific details of the product features and costs. Income payments and withdrawals from deferred annuities are generally taxable as ordinary income in the year they are taken.